there's so many little things, from running out and doing a high five with Shantira Higgins right before the start of pregame, to the monsoon game that happened I guess during the remnants of a tropical storm or something it was against Georgia Tech, and just standing up there, the rain just bashing us and just having a blast. So little things like that, those are the moments that I cherish. The best moment, it's hard to put something. Maddie, you have a...
No, I mean, it really is a culmination of little things. It's just like marching band itself. It's not one big, like technically you have one big moment, but it's all the working pieces that come together for it. So I distinctly remember the trombone section where we had like dance parties every football game. Like in our stands, it was amazing with Sarah Arnold and Samantha Gardner. We looked forward to Saturdays, no matter how hot it was or cold. So that was definitely one of the things about game day that was a lot of fun. What else?
I remember the one time, my fourth year, going up to the president's house before a game and doing the playing arts and doing the show, and I think we had somehow gotten away from doing that, and it's just like the only time I think during when I was a drum major we got to do that, and getting up there, I just remember like the sun hitting, sort of being in my eyes, so I didn't really even see the band, and it was just a fantastic experience. It's one of those things where the frame, or the sort of the framework of Charlottesville, the backdrop, the scenery combined with the music and everything, those are the little things that I'll treasure more than just sort of the overall experience. One of my favorite memories as a trumpet player was my second year. The trumpets that were not concerned about their position in the band camp games, and during our skit, we decided that sort of we would get out there and then all just run away, and we all just ran away and went into the pool, jumped in, and that was it. That was our skit. It was essentially nonsense.
Nobody knew what they were doing. I think we all just sat there for like 5 minutes afterwards in dead silence, completely confused, like convinced they were going to come back and try to impress us. But
yeah, that was a fun memory. I really liked that one.
I guess it was cumulative band camps, but watching the trombone section go from like completely apathetic to band camp. Like we would show up and we would do what we were supposed to and be there, and not really into it. I think when I first started, and by the end, like Philip Morris like took off his shirt and was singing with a music stand to Bohemian Rhapsody. Like there was suddenly passion in the trombone section, so that was really cool. But yeah, it was as exhausted as you were at the games in the evening. It was definitely a good psychology move to get everybody to bond, because you definitely pulled everybody out of their shells for the silly activities.
You went canoeing.
Yeah, canoeing my first year.
Her first year.
That was awesome. Peace and Cook are terrors in canoes. That was an absolute blast, and I think my whole group talked about that forever afterwards, because it was so much fun to just kind of completely put band away for a little bit and relax and play in the water. So that was probably one of my favorite memories.
Yeah, as drum major, band camp is completely different because you're working so much more behind the scenes on all of the minutia, trying to make sure everything goes right. I think you have you get to go around every section and see how they're interacting. I remember always having fun going to the tuba section and participating in their breathing exercises. And trying not to pass out, but that was always a lot of fun.
Thank you, it's here.
Yeah. So band camp's as much as it's cliche to sound it, to say it, it's very.
Well, half of my first year at band camp, I was off trying to learn how to play trombone in a week, and I ended up locked in a linen closet with Mr. Itzier, learning how to do breathing exercises and how to hit like basic notes on trombone. So whenever I see him, I still give him a hard time about that. Yeah, I was in a linen closet because there were no extra practice rooms, and obviously I put a trombone in there. But yeah, that was a riot. Just retrospectively, it was perfectly fine, and he's doing a great job teaching, and it's probably better because all the linen could absorb my horrible car engine noises that were coming out of my trombone.
One of the funniest moments that I don't think a lot of people are aware of was the picture day my third year, the season of 2009. We just did the stadium rehearsal the night before, and the drum majors get back to the hotel, and we only have 2 of the 4 sabers. we were freaking out a little bit because, in the pictures you stand there with your sabers, and that's what you do, and to not have them, and we weren't about to go. We were, I don't know, proud or scared. I'm not sure which is the better one to go asking folks, hey, we lost the sabers. Have you seen them? So we didn't go around asking Mr. Pease or anybody if they picked them up. I think we asked a few people, but not the right people. And we took the pictures without them, and afterwards Mr. Pease comes up with them and he says, had them the whole time, and we felt pretty sheepish after that. I have a number of favorites from the Journey show that was Under the Lights Against Maryland to the the Star Wars show, which people may have forgotten. We did the Darth Vader helmet, and that was a lot of fun for me personally. The Beatles, the British Invasion show, just a lot of good ones. It's hard to, put my finger on the best.
I really like the Journey show. You could just tell everybody had so much fun with it. I don't know why I can't think of the song name right now, but it's the one the trombones always like to play, and the instructions
Get it on?
are, yeah.
Drive it like a Mack truck.
Yeah, the instructions are drive like a Mack truck. I think it was my first year that we played it, and it just has if the trombones can crank it out, I thought it was one of the coolest songs, and I'm pretty sure every basketball game we went to, we begged to get to play it. It was really cool to get to crank that out. I liked the low bass anything, and the marching band, I think, steps it up a level. Not that I'm biased, but.
I thought the first show I ever got to do, the Blues in the Night, Summertime, and the other one that escapes me. But I just remember as a trumpet player coming from a smaller band, hearing the soloists like Toby Twislow and Patrick Dorsey, it was something I hadn't heard at that caliber before.
It sounds super cliche afterwards, but all the songs that were the hardest, that you had to almost spend extra time practicing outside of band, which nobody did. I didn't do, even learning it. But those were the ones that were really cool, like Green Hornet. I think, most of the woodwinds hated that, but when retrospectively you got to listen to it, we sounded freaking amazing. And to get to take that to a high school, which we had traveled to go do an exhibition at a college or a high school competition, I don't think many of us walked off the field not proud of how cool that was, that we could play. It kind of blew them away a little bit with what college musicians can do voluntarily. I feel like I was there right at the beginning of them starting to do the picture drills. The only one that I distinctly remembers the stick figures with the football moving, which was really cool. Absolutely my favorite. So it was nice that we got a little bit out of our box, pun intended, to do a little bit more with cool pictures.
Yeah, I was always ragging on Mr. Cook to put more of those picture drills and things. It seemed like there was a lot of opportunities to just be easy. It'd be easy to do, and I think that just looking at the show from this past week, the evolution of dance, the band continues to step it up a notch every year to do better and better. I was shocked at how good it looked from a drill perspective. My first year, we were away at Maryland, and this was the only season that we were really a decent football team while I was there. So I didn't realize how much I should treasure this at the time, but I just remember Chris Long sacking Maryland's quarterback. We had brought our entire band there. It was after the high school exhibition earlier that day. It was a night game. We were killing it as far as sound goes, and after the game, we won a very close game.
We had to run out of the stadium also.
Yeah,
to get back to the buses.
I remember two things about the experience. One was, I think Mr. Peace told us he was getting yelled at because he thought that our band was mic'd because he saw the speakers, and Mr. Peace replied, "Look at which way the speakers are facing." It was the speakers for him to communicate stuff to the band, not for us to put our sound out the other way. So to think that we're already on speakers from the other band is a compliment in and of itself. But the coup de grace was on the bus, on the little charter bus, before heading back to Charlottesville, hearing the radio broadcast, the Maryland radio broadcast, saying that UVA band was so loud. It felt like a UVA home game in there. That was just a really cool thing, and something I won't forget.
I think our whole group still talks about that football game. Just the rain was like pouring, and you can just see it splattering off the instruments, and we're all having a great time for probably because the football team, it was the Cardiac Cavaliers year. I also clearly I'm like sentimental one between the two of us, because I loved the Virginia Tech and UVA when we did we came together on the field and we knew the state of Virginia and played together. I know how passionate this kid is about not liking Virginia Tech, so it was really cool just, to know those sentiments, but to come together that way, it was kind of cool. We're all, a good chunk of us went to school and high school together, and it just pulled you back together. I don't remember if it was pregame or during halftime, but still lost.
The only bowl game that we attended was the Gator Bowl. Which memory of? I think the best memory of that is it was a New Year's Day bowl, and New Year's Eve we're sort of trying to figure out what to do, and a bunch of us go down to the beach. The hotel was right on the beach. It was a lot of fun there, and we all get in this one big circle on the sand on the beach, and we sing the good old song, and of course to the tune of Auld Lang Syne. And that was a really cool moment. Just being down in Jacksonville, singing that on New Year's, it was really special.
That was really cool. And then I remember Kevin Chang also buried his marching band shoes, because that was his last football game with the Cavalier marching band. So he disappears, and he comes back and he goes, "I just buried my shoes here. They will live on forever." So that was my favorite memory of Jacksonville as well.